Okay, so you're back for more on sleight of mouth patterns.
Sounds like it.
Which is awesome because this deep dive is going to be really fun.
I think so too.
We're going to be looking at how different NLP masters use sleight of mouth patterns in conversation.
That's right.
And we're going to be using a guide called 7 SOM Samurai.
By Strix Toledo.
Yeah, by Strix Toledo to help us see how they weave their magic so we can learn from the best, right?
Absolutely. And I think what's really fascinating about this guide is it doesn't just, tell you what sleight of mouth patterns are.
Yeah.
It really gets into the individual styles of 7 different NLP masters. And I think by comparing and contrasting them, we can really get a nuanced understanding of the different approaches.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
So first up, Richard Bandler, one of the co-creators of NLP.
Yeah.
So he's known for his bold and almost confrontational style.
Absolutely. He's the kind of guy who, if you said to him, I'm just not good at public speaking, he might come back at you with something like, oh, so you've never successfully ordered a pizza over the phone.
Yeah.
It's that jarring humor that really throws people off.
That makes you think, right?
Exactly. And that's the point, right?
Yeah.
He's using that humor as a way to disrupt your pattern.
So it's like a pattern interrupt.
It's like verbal judo.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
Now, contrast that with Robert Dilts, who takes a much more insightful and values-driven approach.
Okay.
So instead of challenging a belief head-on, he explores the values behind that belief.
So instead of telling someone that they're wrong for thinking they're not creative,
right,
he might dig deeper into why they value creativity.
Yeah, exactly. He might ask, if you could express yourself creatively, what impact would that have on your life? What values would that fulfill?
Right.
And in doing so, he's connecting that belief to something that's deeply held.
I like that.
Which can encourage a more intrinsic shift in perspective.
Yeah, it's not about tearing down a belief, but it's building up a belief that aligns with your values.
Exactly.
So that's really cool.
Yeah. Now, for an even gentler approach, we have Doug O'Brien, who focuses on making change manageable by taking things one step at a time.
So that's perfect for people who feel overwhelmed with changing a belief.
Absolutely. So let's say someone says, I'm terrible at remembering names.
Right.
O'Brien wouldn't try and overhaul their entire memory system overnight. He might suggest something small, like focusing on remembering just one new name each day.
Oh, okay.
And over time, that creates a positive feedback loop that builds confidence and makes lasting change feel more attainable.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a habit. You start small and then you build up.
Yeah.
Now, this kind of reminds me of Milton Erickson.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. But he's more known for metaphors and indirect suggestions.
Right. So whereas O'Brien is focusing on that conscious step-by-step change, Erickson is working more with the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So he might tell a story about a shy butterfly eventually emerging from its cocoon. And in doing so, subtly suggesting that even the most timid individuals can blossom with time and support.
So it's like planting seeds,
Exactly.
a possibility in the subconscious.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Jamie Smart, he focuses on growth as well.
Okay.
But from a more reflective perspective. So he sees beliefs as part of our evolutionary journey, not as fixed truths. So if someone were to say, I'm not lucky in love, Smart might reframe that as, perhaps those experiences were necessary to help you clarify what you truly desire in a partner. So it's about recognizing that even seemingly negative beliefs serve a purpose in our growth.
Okay, so not labeling beliefs as good or bad, but rather seeing them as a part of our evolution.
Yeah, and this is similar to Dilts in that it emphasizes values.
Yeah.
But I think Smart takes it a step further by looking at the bigger picture of personal growth.
So Dilts is helping you align your beliefs with your values. But Smart is helping you see the value in the beliefs themselves.
Yes, exactly. Even the challenging ones as stepping stones on our path.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. So now let's look at Dr. David Snyder.
Okay.
Who seems to be more action-oriented and...
Absolutely. He's all about immediate action.
Yeah. Okay.
So he believes in confronting limiting beliefs with evidence and then taking action to disprove those beliefs.
Okay.
So let's say someone says, I'm bad at math.
Yeah.
Snyder might point out all the instances where they use math successfully in everyday life, like budgeting or baking,
Yeah.
And then he might encourage them to try a new math-related activity to further challenge that belief.
So it's like going from abstract to concrete?
Exactly. Shifting from self-doubt to evidence of competence.
Cool. Okay.
All right. And finally, we have Alex Hormozi, who uses a more analytical and cost-benefit approach.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So imagine someone saying, it's selfish to prioritize my needs. Hormozi might ask them to actually calculate the cost of neglecting their needs.
Sure.
The impact on their health, relationships, and well-being. And then he would contrast that with the potential benefits of self-care.
I see.
And this helps people make a more informed decision about whether to hold on to that belief.
So it's like...
It's almost like a business decision, right? You're weighing the pros and cons.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we just explored 7 different masters.
We did.
And they all have very distinct and different ways of using sleight of mouth patterns.
Yeah.
And what's cool is there's no like right way.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. It's about choosing the approach that best suits the situation and the individual. The key takeaway here is that sleight of mouth isn't just a set of techniques. It's an art form.
Yeah.
And these masters demonstrate that effective communication is about understanding nuance, adapting to the individual, and using language to guide people towards more empowering perspectives.
Absolutely. And so to our listener, if you could embody one of these master styles whose approach really resonates with you. Think about that. You know, the types of situations you're in, the people you're communicating with. And you know what approach would be most effective.
Are you drawn to Bandler's boldness, or does Dilts' values-based approach speak to you more?
The great thing about sleight of mouth is it offers a diverse toolkit.
Absolutely.
For navigating conversations and shaping perceptions.
For sure.
And if you're interested in going even deeper, I highly recommend checking out Strix Toledo's work.
It's an incredibly insightful guide.
Yes, it is.
For anyone looking to refine their communication skills and really harness the power of language.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Sounds good.